Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Thank you for joining me once again for one of these fake Grand Order diary entries, and happy April Fool's Day. At least at the time of recording this, you probably won't be seeing this for a little bit afterwards, just with how my schedule has been running. But yes, April Fool's Day, we've got some sort of event where the chibi versions of our characters are playing soccer, and I like this banner right here, and I think that there's some sort of external game to play that they often put out on these April Fool's Day. No chibi characters in the servant profiles, though, so, I was looking forward to that, but hey, can't always get it. But along with that, we have the new event, Murder at the Kumano Hot Springs, which is going to be the collab tie-in with Witch on the Holy Night. I think it's like Mahoutsukai no Yoru, something like that. And I was just like, I'm not familiar with that. And looking at the characters, it's just like Alice, who's the character that we'll get later on. I don't recognize them all that much, but the main one, the one that's going to be coming up today, Aozaki Aoko, it's like something about that feels very familiar, and I'm like, okay, let me look her up real quick. So look her up, and it's like she's from this series, and it's a prequel to Tsukihime, and I'm like, okay, I really don't know all that much about Tsukihime either, because I have not had time to be able to play the visual novels. And I'm like, but why does her name sound familiar? It's because in Karano Kyokai, there's a character called Toko Aozaki, and yeah, so Aoko Aozaki, Toko Aozaki, and they are, I believe, sisters, technically. So, but, with everything being kind of once removed, like parallel universes between Tsukihime and Karano Kyokai, it doesn't surprise me that they ended up using that. But there are a couple of things prior to this. So first off, we had a pre-release campaign for this, which they were like, oh, we're going to bring back some characters. I can understand why they would bring back Ilya, because she's like what would you call it there? She's a magical girl. And maybe, Mahoutsukai no Yoru kind of fits in with that, but I had already finished up Ilya, so it's like, do I really need this? And it's like, no. So but then there was this Bunyan summon that you saw pass there, and it's just like, I don't have Bunyan. So I went ahead and did a few summons, and as you can see here, I was able to end up successfully summoning Bunyan and, getting another copy, and I think I'm one more away from being able to finish her off. But even prior to that, there was an Ordeal Call campaign that came out after the id chapter was released, and I think that it might have something to do with the Draco storyline, because Lady Avalon was the featured servant in that one, and it's just like, oh well, I need one more copy of her, so why don't I go ahead and try to summon her as well? So I go through, and the first thing that I get is this summon of Enkidu and Taigan Wong, and it's just like, what? It was just very strange, because here I am summoning for Lady Avalon, and I get two male servants. I lost the coin flip twice. It was just really confusing, and I'm just like, what's going on here? But the Taigan Wong I will absolutely take, because I believe that finished him up for me, The Enkidu, on the other hand, was a USO, which, I mean, I would much prefer to have a full servant, but a tenth of a servant is just as fine. And then a little bit afterwards, I ended up getting this banner, which had Lady Avalon in it, thankfully, and it came with the other rate-up of Hephaestion, but then Beowulf just decided to be like, yo, I'm also here, what up? So I thought that was fun, but now that we've kind of seen some of those extraneous things, let's go into the Aozaki Aoko summons and actually see what she has in store for us. So, she looks very pretty, you know, nice red dress, very friendly face. Looks like we got some new CEs, and it looks like that 5-star one might be Toko Aozaki, which, I mean, I would absolutely take another one for her because I think that she's probably my favorite character from Kara no Kyokai. It just seems to be the case. So, I guess we're starting off with Gold Serpent. Ooh, and Hassan. Okay. Now I'll have to look because I'm not certain if I finished off all of my Hassans for, well, this one for the Shooting Star from the id chapter. So that could actually be a good pickup for me. I'm glad that I ended up doing that. So let's get on into the main ones there, starting off with a bit of a good omen. You know, Shooting Star, you know, make a wish. Don't say your wish out loud because you don't want people to know what it is because it won't come true. But okay, here we are starting with one. Those who watch over the night. Maybe these are some of the witches. Again, I don't really have any context for this, but looks like we're getting another one. I didn't see a 3-star craft essence. There might be one, but it looked like there was at least 2 4-stars and a 5-star. And we're getting 3 of the same 4-star, which, I mean, hey, this is an event, so I will absolutely take those. Increases art effectiveness 8%, crit strength up, HP recovery. Okay, you know, does a little bit there. You know, looks like maybe Aozaki on the right there, and then you've got a nun, and then in the center, maybe just another big magic user or something. Looks like maybe Misaki is the location that all of this happens or something, because I'm not... when it says the night falls over Misaki, I'm like, that doesn't sound like the name of the character now, does it? Masks, I mean, in the id chapter that we just finished up, we had Salieri, and we had Count of Monte Cristo's mask as well. Okay, so there is a 3-star craft essence, Cool in Misaki, which, again, now we're confirming Misaki is a city. Restore 50 HP, gain 1 crit star, increase MP gauge. Not that bad for a 3-star craft essence. We gotta make them a little bit relevant as time goes on so that you can actually use them. But let's see if we can actually get any of the characters that we actually want to. Shuhu, you know, it's nice to see a little alter ego in that 3-star slot just so that you can get a little something. And there we go. That is Aozaki Toko because it's calling Puppeteer's Respite, and if I remember correctly, puppeteering was her big magic that she used in the Kara no Kyokai films. So I am absolutely thrilled to get another copy of her because we did get one in the Kara no Kyokai event, and that one is aged pretty poorly. So maybe this one will be better. Increase arts effectiveness, buster effectiveness, MP gauge up, and increase MP charge by 2 levels. So the thing about it that I like is that it provides a lot of buffs. The thing that I am not quite as fond of is because it provides a lot of buffs, they seem a little bit weaker. As we did see in the previous 4-star, the ones who watch over the night, it was already buffing up arts by 8%, and it's like, this one's also buffing it up by 8%. It also gets Buster, so it's like, do you have the character that you're putting this on as 2B, 2A, and then has either a Buster or Arts Noble Phantasm, and then, you know, it helps out a little bit more with the Arts because it gives the MP gain, and then you get 1 extra charge. So it's like you want to put it on something that's 2B, 2A, because if you don't and you're putting it on something that has a full Arts deck, then why not just run something that has more Arts and NP gain up instead? So definitely better than the previous one. Very different art style. I do prefer the art of the last one. This one is a lot more relaxed, and it has to do with the hot spring, and is a lot lighter out because it's, you know, not, I don't know how creepy the story is going to be, but you know, the one from the Card of Kyokai was not necessarily fun, if you want to call it that. But you know, I am very, very glad to get another Aoko CE. Going on into our next one, we've gotten some interesting things so far. If we can keep that up, especially if we can get a servant, that would be great. Another Aoko CAE, 100% take that. 3 more, and then we've got that complete. I mean, we've got the, I think it's Guonji Alice. We've got hers, which I'm pretty sure she'll give the same CEs. So, more chances to get it if we don't. We're getting more of these 4 stars, which we want to do because then at some point we're going to want to max limit break all of them and, you know, get the extra bonuses, but then they also provide a little bit of extra for the event. So it's just like, yeah, you know, like, by all means, give them to us. Like, I definitely prefer them over Natural Predator. Like, we've ended up getting all of those, so we're good. Getting a servant here, fingers crossed. I believe she's foreigner. Nah, just a Lancer. And Fionn. Boo. Not looking for that. It's just a rare prism for us, so unfortunately getting spooked, but there's a second servant. Assassin, though. Oh, double 4 stars, unless it's Osaka Behime or something like that. Nope, Carmella. Okay, so a couple of rare prisms there. I mean, we can always use rare prisms for getting stuff. It's just, man, you know, really would like to get Aosaki Aoko. Okay, so all of our gold was at the very end. How funny. And we did get another 3-star, which funny that we're getting a lot more 4 stars than we are 3-star. But I mean, I'm assuming that it should be a bit easier to get the 3-star, and we can get that into the friend gacha if we really need to pull it in. Don't want to pull it St. Ports later on. But yeah, it wasn't a bad roll by any means. I just did not contain what I was looking for. So, 1 uses there, and another one for the event. We'll do that. Thank you. Go on to the next one. Nope, just gonna be ending. Okay. Come on. Fingers crossed here. We had fingers crossed for servant last time. We ended up getting a servant. Duke of Flame, I would have preferred Aoko CE. But, I mean, we've already gotten it. There we go. So, our other 4-star that we've been waiting for, we've been getting the other one non-stop. Phantasmals, like first meal or good meal. I didn't get a good read on the name. Another Natural Predator. Now that these have come into the main gacha, they seem to be showing up a whole lot for us. Phantasmal's Food Crawl, not good meal. Gain 10 stars when entering the field for the first time, like Golden Sumo. Increase crit strength, apply damage cut. Okay, you know, provides a little bit extra on top of that one there. Not quite as many crit stars there, but it gives a little bit of extra crit strength, which is nice, but the damage cut is more of a defensive ability, while it seems like a very offensive ability, so it's not it's fine. It's just that it's a little bit weird for those abilities to go together when you only get the crit stars the first time it enters, so it's very much a enter in, grant them, and you want to use them to the best effect. So it would have been better if it was an attack up or, you know, a certain card type up instead. But, you know, we'll certainly take it because it's one of the new ones and it's part of the event. So, yeah. Next one's here. Another Tolko CE. That's great. Fantastic. We need 2 more and we can get that done. Get that going. Okay. We get another one of these. If we could get 4 more of our Phantasmals, though, that would be great, because we seem to be getting a whole lot of these. I wonder if the Goenji Alice, the Phantasmal's food crawl, is going to be the one that will show up a whole lot. And we got 3 of the 3 stars. I mean, this is a great roll. 1 5-star, 2 4-star, 3 3-stars. I mean, you kind of want to see that type of thing happen, because that's how you get all of your craft essences filled up and having enough to be able to get everything through the event. And starting off with a Berserker, okay, Random Nightingale, we lost that coin flip there. That's unfortunate. Okay. Another Phantasmal Food Crawl. So, Nightingale will be a USO, so, I mean, that will put me back up to 20, so if I really need something, and that's another Servant, and another Berserker, don't be another Nightingale. No, just a Frankenstein. It's 2 people, kind of in white. Oh boy, I mean, by all means, this is a good... this is a good summons. It's just, I don't need the Nightingale, so that's a USO for me. So, oh boy. I wish I did not lose that coin flip, because it was also at the very beginning. It's why I've tried to stop skipping at the very beginning, because you might get a Servant like this, and don't be another one. Okay, Tamomokat. So we're getting a lot of Berserkers, which I think that the Welfare Servant is a Berserker. Okay, another Phantasmal Food Crawl. We need 2 more of those as well. I can't remember. I think Goenji Alice is a caster, much like this guy on Volman Hydrangea. And then Aozaki Aoko is a foreigner. And there we are, another Phantasmal Food Crawl. 1 more to go, and that will be kind of bare minimum of what we're going to be looking for. Got a couple more summons here just to see if we can eke this one out in this amount. No, just a Theseus, though. I mean, he's relatively new, so, I mean, out of those ones, we'll want to take the coins for him. Another 4-star CE. We will use that, and this is going to be a second one for it with how quickly it respawned. And anything else? Another craft essence. Okay, just a G-Knuckle. You know, sitting in our room, making sure that no one comes on in. And there's our Phantasmal Food Crawl. Okay, so we've gotten all of the food crawls that we need. Well, all of the ones that we want for the bare minimum. We can use more to try to, you know, get more MLB copies of a 4-star craft essence to provide some stuff. Box of Confessions, though, that is not complete. I will absolutely take that. It's not the Tolko CE, but yep, I can definitely use that. And we've got this one here as our last summons, but I am going to be trying to get more copies of Aozaki Aoko, so I might just try to fit them all into here, because, hey, you know, why not? Like, let's live a little bit. It's April Fool's Day, we gotta celebrate somehow, right? Okay, so in our first batch of summons here did not get Aozaki Aoko, so I'm going to be right back because I'm going to be trying to get a copy of her. Okay, so we've refreshed up on our Saint Quartz, so let's try to get that copy of Aozaki Aoko. Because she is eluding us so far, which I think based off of the brief thing that I saw about her, she does possess one of the last true magics in the world, and the servant rider. So, you know, I can see her trying to be a little bit, you know, secretive in her ways, not wanting that magic to get out for people to know. So, it's understandable, but we need you for this game, Aoko. We need you here in Chaldea to help save the world. Like, even if you're a complete foreigner to the universe, like, we could use you. We've got these gold lights, Smash, Servant, and Caster. So, no, Alice is not up right now, so just a little Cersei. So many servants so far. Well, not so many, but you know, we've gotten a decent amount, and we did fail our first coin toss, which is big sag, but looks like we're getting 2 copies of Phantasmal Swoop Crawl, which is nice. Being able to work on a second copy in case that we are able to get that going for the event. Another Focal CE. Awesome. We absolutely want to see that. There is only one 5-star CE, and now we've got 4 copies of the 5 that we're looking for, so if we can hit one more, that would be great. And then I don't know how much we need to put into going to Alice to be able to get her 2 copies, but if we could get another 5 copies of the Togo CE within that, that would be great. Who knows, maybe we'll get more in this one as well. I mean, we still need one more. That was a stop. Servant. 4. No, that's Pretender. So a little bit of Hephaestion. I got a little excited there because I'm like, it's one of the extra classes. That must mean that it's Foreigner. No, it's just Hephaestion. Just being like, hey, how's it going? Just like popping in, and I'm just like, yes, it's you. It's not. Oh well. Just a little caster there. Man, I thought Hassan showing up at the very beginning in our one shot was gonna be a good sign, but there's not been the luck there. I mean, Boudica, your hair is like Aozaki's when special stuff happens, so like please be an omen that she's gonna be showing up here for us. That's what we really, really want. And, you know, we've got the whole song of, like, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. But, I mean, we had the shooting stars, so I don't want to, and now it's a servant, and... Boudica was... She was the omen. Boudica did it! The red hair! The gingers gotta stay together! I don't know how that happened. Boudica was the catalyst, not Hassan.
Mabushii tunnelを抜けると、そこは見知らぬ研究施設だった。ホラー映画かミステリー小説かって話よね。どっちも好きだからいいけど。こんにちは、カルデアの魔術師さん。サーバントトラベラーじゃないか。サーバントフォーリナー、青崎青子よ。事情はだいたい刷り込まれているから説明はしなくていいわ。これからよろしくね。
Damn, so we've got a new class type, I guess. servant traveler. She's just traveled again across timelines, I guess, to the Fate timeline, and then one of the adjacent timelines within Fate, because FGO does not take place in the same one as the Fate Stay Night or Apocrypha or Extra or whatnot. There, it utilizes singularities for them because it's, hey, here you go type of deal. But yeah, we ended up getting her. I'm thrilled that Boudica ended up being the catalyst for all of this. So let's take a quick look at her. Aozaki Aoko. Servants who changed. Okay, this is new for us. For servants whose stats can change during battle, you can check the pre and post change details by tapping that next to the voice button. Okay, so I'm assuming this is going to be going between her red form and whatnot. As Aoko, as Aozaki Aoko, 2000 HP, about 2100 HP, about 1750 attack. So very bulky defensive, and yep, as Super Aoko. So changing it up, and she does get quite a boost to the attack there. About 1950 in both HP and attack, and as I've seen, even when they're about fairly even like this, the HP does overtake the attack. So again, it's a lot more offensive because we're losing about 150 HP and adding in about 200 attack into her there. But yeah, so a very combat focused foreigner is interesting. So I wonder how skills might change. That's a cooldown of 4, so when we get her to level 10, that's a cooldown of 2. That's insane. Load Magic Bullet B, level 1. Apply 3 magic bullets. Up to 20 can be applied. 1 is expended during every quick arts or buster attack to increase the attack for 1 time. All magic bullets are expended during extra attacks to increase attack based on the number of expended. Okay, so it wants to do that real quick so that you can keep on building up magical bullets over and over and over again. I would assume that there are ways for her to get more and more and more magical bullets other than just clicking on this skill. She also gains some crit stars, which is nice. I'll have to look to see. It's probably going to be 5 to 10 or 5 to 15, because if it was a lot more than that, it would be absolutely insane to be getting a huge ton of crit stars every single, every other turn type of deal, or once every 3 turns. But it looks like she's got Magic Circuit Rotation A, so it's got some sort of NP gauge up each turn skill, and probably some other things. To your era once more. EX has an Omni boost of the different card types, and probably gives some other things to it there. And if we go over here, okay, so Super Aoko has just completely different skills. Very interesting. So on a cooldown of 6 instead, I mean, still a cooldown of 4 is good. 2 is ridiculous. I don't think that we've had a cooldown of 2. Apply 6 magic bullets. Same thing, 1 is extended for each one to increase the attack, and then all of them expended during an extra attack to increase it based off the number expended. And then instead of giving yourself crit stars, you get invincible for a turn, and you get arts effectiveness up for 3 turns. Now again, it goes to a maximum cooldown of 4. You get invincible status for 1 turn every 4 turns, and then your arts card effectiveness is down once, 1 out of every 4 turns or something like that. That's also kind of insane. Magic Circuit Orbit EX, just an MP gauge up, not once a turn. So I mean, if that's also low, that can be pretty good. For Star C, gives some cooldown reduction and probably some other things as well. Yeah, this unit seems really, really good. And class skills. Okay, so it looks like in Super Aoko form, she gets an extra one. So we're just going to go over that one there. So Entity of the Outer Realm E, gain 2 crit stars and increase debuff resist. It's the Foreigner skill. It makes sense that it's so low for her because she's not an Eldritch God. She's just essentially traveling to another timeline. Territory Creation E gets a slight boost to arts. Item Creation E, slightly increased debuff success rate. Magician C, increase debuff resist and death resist and buff removal resist and apply a state that changes invisible stats applied to you into anti-enforcement defense stats for yourself. So she's not applying invincible to herself with any of these. She's applying anti-enforcement defense. So she's applying the stuff that Castoria does. So this Magician C is similar to the skill that Kukulkan has, which does the same thing of any invincible that is applied to her becomes anti-enforcement or anti-purge defenses, which is something that Pierce Invulnerability cannot get through. Wow. Oh, she has 2 extra skills. Deploy Magic Bullet EX, apply a state that applies 2 Magic Bullets each turn for yourself, so you're always getting even more for her during those. So that's awesome. Just generic attack up each turn. Magic Circuit Rotation B, apply a state that increases MP gauge for all allies each turn and gains crit stars each turn for yourself. Wow, so I imagine it's gaining crit stars each turn as part of her regular Aozaki Aoko stuff, because that was her skill. It's just like, okay, like Super Aoko, it's got some really, really nasty passive skills. And then she's got the one for the general event of, more strength, more bond. Wow, yeah, I think Aoko is, especially Super Aoko, is kind of busted. It's got the normal append, get some anti-saber to get rid of saber here, and let's take a look at these different noble phantasms, see how they do. Unfinished blue, rank X, anti-personal, transform into Super Aoko, attack, HP, skills, MP, command card deck, etc. change. So her command card deck is also going to change between forms. School cooldowns will be carried over after transformation. Buster and extra attacks will target all enemies in Super Aoko form. Damage against each target is half compared to single target, but I mean, if you're hitting 3 enemies, it's fine if it's halved, because then you're dealing 1.5 damage. But I mean, you're also getting the attack up from all of the magic bullets. Also, increased Buster effectiveness, extra card effectiveness, and crit strength for 3 turns. Effect increases with overcharge for yourself. So if you can try to get some stuff in on that, probably on the turn that she transforms, or even the one afterwards, that would be really, really good. Okay, and then her Super Aozaki form, or Super Aoko form, is Earthlight Starbow, A+, anti-army, apply Ignore Invincible, ignore defense for yourself, so kind of good in challenge quests, decrease defense, effect increases with overcharge, and deal heavy damage. Strength increases based on the number of magic bullets applied to yourself, max of 10 to all enemies, so hits all enemies. You want to get a bunch of magic bullets out if you can. Expend a max of 10 magic bullets for yourself to get that up. Okay, I think that's going to be really, really good for especially clearing challenge quests. Okay, what else do we got here? So, as regular Aozaki Aoko, we've got 2B2A, and Super Aoko has 3 arts cards. Okay. Yeah, kind of makes sense that that's the case. Because of that, I see in that first Buster, I see that flip of red and blue in the bottom right-hand corner of it to denote that. Yeah, she seems like a very interesting servant because you got to think about a whole lot of stuff with her. Yeah, she's just really, really cool, and I mean, we spend a whole lot of time just looking at her because there's just so much stuff for her. Design in the game doesn't look too ostentatious because, hey, you know, she's a normal human, and that's just how it is. She's not a servant. She's not a, you know, this person from Legends. She's just supposed to be a human. But okay, you know, hey, fantastic. We ended up getting a copy of her, and we've got some more rules here to try to be able to get a second one. So let's hope our Boudica luck carries over, because we already got a Nightingale. It would be nice not to get a second one, and to instead get another Aozaki Aoko. No, it's just another one. Well, speaking of Aozaki, that is our last vocal. So, we did get our new servant. We've gotten 5 copies of each of the grass essences at the very least. We're doing very, very good. You know, we've got Kuonji Alice that will be coming up, but we do want to get one more copy. We want to get that extra copy of Aoko, because that first jump in NP gauge, not NP gauge, but NP damage is immense. Getting a lot more, getting some more of the Phantasmal Food Crawl, which is good. We do want more of those just to try to get the MLB copy of it. And, you know, getting more of those is good. We'll probably have enough to have MLB to get through the event. We are getting a bit more of those. We are going to look for that servant, though. I hope Lafolia is not... She is also ginger, but she was the last one in that pack there, so... Usually Lafolia means things are done, like you're not going to get anything great beyond that point. But I'm hoping that because they are redhead, that it will give the capabilities of one more Aoko to show up. The problem is, now that we've gotten her, there's no more pity for her. It's not on a basis of how much you summon, it's the first one that you summon has the pity. So we've got this one, and we've got one more, I think it is. Come on. We've got a Berserker, and it was Heracles, and we've got another one. Fingers crossed. No. I was like, foreigners are good against them, but no. Another Carmilla. Oh, Carmilla, that's a bit interesting to get 2 Carmillas in here. We did get the Hassan early on, though. So, but, I mean, 2 4-star servants. It's another servant. 3 4-star servants in a summon is a good summon. Albeit I don't need any of them. They will provide some extra rare prisms, so it's not like it's the end of the world for it. But it would have been nice if I could have maybe squashed those 3 together into like a 5-star servant or something. But there they are in a little triangle, and then all of our gold is just right in the middle there. None of them is touching the edge. Okay, last one for this diary entry video to see if we can get that second copy of her here. I will be doing the individual, like, daily summons for her with the 1 Saint Quartz, just to see if maybe, just maybe... Oh, and we get another Dogo. See, that's good. So, it probably will be, that's the last Aozaki that we get in this video. Unless,
Unless she's technically on the those who watch overnight. We didn't even get that one. Okay, so I was right. That copy of the CE is our last Aozaki of this video, so unfortunately did not get our second copy within this, but I will be looking to get another one with before the event is over, just because these servants that are from the crossover events don't really have a lot of opportunity to show up a whole lot. Now I know that Guonji Alice is going to show up as a New Year's servant either in 2027 or 2028. I can't remember which one it is. I don't know about Aoko. I feel like Aoko is, and it's an opportunity for me to get more copies of them, but I'm going to stop here for right now. I know that Alice will be coming out a little bit later on, so we'll see how that pans out. So thanks for joining me on this one. Boudica, thank you for giving me that little bit of luck to have Aoko show up for us. And she does look insane. I'm looking forward to giving her a shot and seeing how good she is, because she looks like a very good offensive unit, whereas kind of our really insane units have been defensive or support ones. Aozaki Aoko might be just an insane attacker. We'll see. So thanks for joining me on this one. I hope that you have good luck in whatever it is that you are up to. Have a good afternoon, evening, or night, and I'll look forward to having you come back in another one. And until you do, please take care of yourself. I'll see you then. Bye.